Good evening everybody, it's the Caramel Citizen here. It's been a long hiatus, but I've got some material for ya. This name doesn't appear to be well known within the black manosphere, but her name is Tonya TKO, and I've been following her on Facebook. She had a list that was very interesting, to say the least, concerning what women want in men. Clearly, this list is targeted towards those who would be considered lames, whether educated or not, in the black community. Tonya TKO claims that a man must possess at least one of these 8 items in order to be desired by women. Take a look at this list. Take a nice, long, hard look at this list. I can tell you that the dudes I know who've run through the highest number of women are the exact opposite of each and every item on this list. There are plenty of unemployed, broke, and out of shape men out there going around and making babies. Now, one could argue that the fact that these men are going around and making babies means that they possess item number 6. Now, if that's your argument, I'm willing to grant you that. However, if I grant you that, it's going to come at a cost. More on that as I go down the list and get to number 6. We're going to come up with a hypothetical dude, and we're gonna name him, well, Pookie. Because what else, right? Let's start off with the first thing Tonya TKO claims is a trait that will make a man successful with women: power. Pookie is not powerful. He is not in a position to influence others. He doesn't have a job, nor is he a member of any association or organization where he holds a leadership role. He's just a dude that's, well, there. The second thing, wealth. Pookie has no wealth. How does he get a roof over his head? By shacking up with a single mother in her Section 8 apartment. How does he eat? He eats food bought with his girlfriend's EBT card that is meant for her children. His clothes. His girlfriend buys them for him with the child support money she gets. So far, we've established that Pookie is the exact opposite of powerful and wealthy. He's so lacking in wealth, that poor women on public assistance are feeding, clothing, and housing him. Number 3 is handsome, and number 4 is having a gorgeous body. I don't know about you, but I've seen plenty of ugly fat dudes run through women. There are articles all over the internet about women deliberately dating down in terms of looks in order to have leverage in the relationship. Personally, I didn't need these articles to tell me that. Through my teens and 20s, I'd always been considered to be handsome and in good shape, but I had always been totally flabbergasted by the fact that there were fat, ugly, broke dudes who had far better luck with women than I did. We can even go back to number 2, and say that many women, and in the black community in particular, most women, choose broke dudes for the purpose of leverage. Tonya TKO is a liar. We've established that. But let's continue. Number 5 is men with great sense of humor. O'Shea Duke Jackson himself is a very funny dude, and he has stories about how women used him for his sense of humor. He'd make them laugh for hours, but then he'd still walk away without getting any. But is the average Pookie a funny dude? He may be funny in a pathetic way, but certainly not in a humorous way. He's most likely a total ditz, like Brahman from Martin. We may laugh at his character on the show, but in real life, no one is laughing at him. Now let's get to number 6. As I said before, the men who've run through the most women, the men with babies everywhere by different baby mamas, are, oftentimes, the exact opposite of everything on this list. Again, one could claim that I'm contradicting myself since running through all those women and having all those babies means that he possesses number 6. But here's the problem: to let those baby mamas tell it, they didn't know about all of his other baby mamas at the time they became one of his themselves. Are these women lying or not? Be honest with yourselves, ladies. Do you publicly agree with their claims to not have known about the other baby mamas, because you're trying to stay on code? Because in order to support your claim that a man with multiple baby mamas is the ultimate proof that he possesses number 6, you're gonna have to break code and come out and say that those baby mamas are lying about not having known. That is the cost. So which is it? I'm ready. Number 7, extremely intelligent men. I don't even need to go deep into this, except to say that the educated lame debates have existed for years for a reason. That, right there, disproves number 7. Number 8, we got Pookies out there beating their girlfriends. We got kookies out there both physically and sexually abusing their girlfriends' children. We've got kookies out there that can't even protect themselves. How many pookies have we known growing up that have had to watch their backs everywhere they went, because they put their hands on somebody's sister? If I recall correctly, Mumia Obsidian Ali got his black belt in Aikido before the senior prom incident. Let's be blunt here, as we all know, perception is reality. Obsidian, for example, is judged by his height and other aspects of his appearance. For example, he's never been what has been referred to as a jawline brother in the black manosphere. Ultimately, this means that he's not going to be perceived as meeting number 8. However, he has a martial arts background. Unfortunately, that doesn't matter. He can show a woman all the documentation from his Aikido association, but how she perceives him is ultimately what matters. What she is shown on paper means nothing to her. And this is the case with everything else on the list. I very rarely agree with Boogie on anything, but here, I'm going to make an exception. Dating and mating is based strictly on attraction, and nothing else. It is not a meritocracy. Tonya TKO and others need to stop trying to convince men that it is. Because when an 18-year-old looks at this list, and comes back 4 years later with a management job making 6 figures, kept-up appearance, a beach body, hundreds of hours of training as a stand-up comedian, an engineering degree, and 2 black belts in 2 different martial arts, and still has no luck, and speaks up about it, the very people who told him to go out and do all those things will be the same ones to tell him that doing those things doesn't make him entitled.